All right, guys, let's look at the what's called the circular flow diagram. So first things we want to talk about are who are some of the main players in the economy. We talked about this in the beginning of the year, right? And I always say that the two main groups, right, are your households and your businesses. So you got them on your 2 points, right? And then what happens is we're going to have what's called a product market and a resource market. This is the interaction, again, invisible hand, nobody getting involved. This is the flow that should happen in a typical market, right? The households provide the four factors of production: land, labor, capital, entrepreneurial ability. They give them to the resource market, right, which takes them. They then give those to the businesses, and the business is able to produce a product from that. All right. And with that product, they're going to send it to the product market. Right. This is your Walmarts. These are your places that you're used to getting your stuff. Right. Amazon, I guess, would be the new one. So goods and services go to the product market. From the product market, they go to the household. All right. So now we have the household. How is the household able to pay for it? Well, the resource market gives them rent for land, wages for labor, interest for capital, profit for entrepreneur. I'll talk about the profit and the interest one at a later date, and it'll make more sense, right? But we do understand wages is for labor. So we have capital, entrepreneur, land, labor, which you could abbreviate as CELL, sell. And then I like to say rent, wages, interest, and profit is WIRP, which is WIRP, right? WIRP. And then we send that from the households. The households then use that money that they have to send the money to the product market to pay for the goods and services they have bought. That money then is revenue for the firm. The firm is then able to take that revenue and to send it to the resource market for the rent, wages, interest, and profit. Right, so that's the circular flow. All that is very nice, looks good, right? Who's missing? The government. We put them right smack in the middle, right? They get right there. Now the whole system is not flowing as easily as before. So the government is giving us something, and we're giving the government something. What are we giving the government, and what are businesses giving the government? It's an easy one, right? Taxes. Households send taxes to the government. Businesses sell taxes to the government. And what we get in return for that is goods and services, right? Like I live in New York City, so I get firemen, I get police, I get sanitation, right? In Long Island, you get police, you get sanitation, you get volunteer firemen, right? But the money that you pay in taxes helps to do that. Schools, right? You get an education for the taxes that you pay. All right, and then the last group is down at the bottom, the product market, and it's the foreign market. The foreign market sends us imports, and we send the foreign market exports. Now, I didn't put arrows there because they weren't going to fit and it was just going to look messy. All right, but if you were going to put arrows from the product market, an arrow from the product market to the foreign is exports, and from the foreign to the product is imports. And that is your circular flow diagram. One of the things we'll talk about in class when we go over this is where is the supply and demand for goods and services? Where is the supply and demand for resources, right? There is a demand for labor, right? And there is a supply of labor. So we want to look at those things, and that's what we'll talk about in class.